Let's give you the Astros starting lineup. One notable change. It's not at the top. That's Altuve, Brantley, and Bregman. In the middle, Yordan Alvarez in left, Carlos Correa at short, Kyle Tucker in center. But then Yuli Gurriel, the pitcher, is batting 8th. Zach Greinke and the catcher Martin Maldonado hits in the number 9 spot. Braves take the field. Hey, Major League Baseball is celebrating 25 years of partnership with Boys and Girls Clubs of America, together creating great futures for kids. For the game, Boys and Girls Clubs 2021 National Youth of the Year, Brianna, delivered today's game ball to the mound, accompanied by Boys and Girls Clubs of America President and CEO Jim Clark. Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America and will be making a donation to Brianna's hometown club in Bristol, Connecticut in her honor. Congratulations to Brianna. Well, Mr. Dylan Lee came running in from the bullpen. And like Kenny said, I mean, this is a start kind of in name only, as his manager Brian Snitker told him, just get some outs. Whatever that amounts to, just get some outs. And they didn't even tell him he was starting this game until he got to the ballpark today.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that's like with no experience. Not that you're making your first postseason experience, it's just that he doesn't have any experience even in the regular season for the most part. So I'm sure he's got a little bit of the jitters, and you could understand, but knowing he only has to go a limited time probably takes the pressure off. When you think about the innings pitched on the mound tonight in this game, I don't know that we've ever seen something this big between the innings.
Zach Greinke gets the ball for Houston. Dylan Lee makes his first career big league start in Game 4 of the World Series. Here's the defense for Atlanta. Eddie Rosario in left, Adam Duvall in center, and Jock Peterson gets the start tonight in right. It was Soler there last night. Then around the infield, Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, and Travis d'Arnaud is moved up, by the way, in the lineup tonight. We'll give you that in the bottom of the inning. He homered last night. He's got 2 home runs in this World Series, and we are about set to go. Home plate umpire for tonight's game, Dan Bellino. Mike Muchlinski is at first. Alfonso Marquez at second. Chris Conroy at third. Ron Kulpa out in left. And Tom Hallion, the crew chief, is in right with Pat Hoberg and Tim Timmons, the replay umpires, and they boo and greet Jose Altuve. Hey, however long Dylan Lee is out there, this is when these right-handed batters that Tom Verducci talked about, they got to get going here tonight against either Dylan Lee or whoever else comes out of that bullpen.
Yeah, they sure do. And you could bet that Altuve wants to start it off with a hit on the first pitch.
He loves first pitch swinging, and he grounds one into the hole. Backhand Swanson. Long throw is wide and safe. An infield hit, as Freeman just couldn't keep the foot on the bag, and no surprise, first pitch hacking, and it's an infield hit for Jose Altuve.
Well, you know that going in, it kind of puts you in a nice spot if you make a great pitch, but this guy swings at everything, and so throwing him strikes early, he's had success. The only real success he's had is on first pitch, and to credit him, hitting over 400 on that pitch. When they throw him a combination of 3 or 4 or 5 more pitches in the at-bat, he hasn't had as much success.
So the first right-handed batter gets a base hit. Here's a lefty, Brantley. 5 for 13 in this World Series is Michael Brantley. Over but low, ball 1.
You know, the downside of having a young man like this, and again, only he knows what his heartbeat's like, you just want to get that first out. But you never go into a game thinking about just getting the first out. But that's really all he's thinking about right now, because he's not going to last very long, and you don't want a big inning, especially in the first inning.
Yeah, they've already got action in their bullpen, the Braves do. He's thrown 2 pitches. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Dylan Lee was really good at AAA. In fact, when you talk to Brian Snitker, he said, If we had it to do all over again, we would have brought him up earlier and gotten a better look at him. 34 relief appearances. The AAA Gwinnett had a 1.58 ERA and a 5-1 record with 1 save as Kyle Wright gets loose. 2-0.
There's just so much unknown. When you're up 2-1, that's the luxury that Brian Snitker has, rolling the dice a little bit with this guy, meaning someone's got to start the game. They knew it was going to be a bullpen game, but I guarantee you this young man came to the park wondering what his role was going to be and then finding out, like, ready, here we go.
That skips in 3-1, and the reason he didn't tell him until he got to the park today was he knew that if they named Lee the starter, Dylan's phone would blow up. He might not get a good night's sleep, so just leave him alone and let him figure it out when he gets in.
Yeah, but you know the butterflies exist in Brian Snitker's belly, because this is a little bit of this is not what you want. You want a guaranteed starter out there to know that you can pencil in for 5 or 6 innings. So he's hoping a little bit.
That is a walk to follow up the infield hit, and it's 2 on, nobody out, with Alex Bregman 1 for 9 in this World Series, walking to the plate. We'll look over the last 3 seasons, go back to 2019. A big year, was second in the most valuable player award voting. Since 20 and 21, he's played in 133 games. He's hit 18 home runs and driven in 77. He missed a lot of time, played in only 91 games this season because of a quad injury. As he comes up empty here, strike 1 from Dylan Lee.
Well, Dylan Lee probably won't get to face anyone past Alvarez unless he can get a double play ball here, which would set this place into a high roar.
Chance for the Astros. They ask for Alex Bregman to get something done. Here's the 0-1. A little bit up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
When you're used to starting and it's part of your DNA as a starter, you always approach the first inning of a postseason game like the 9th, because the first inning is the most important inning to get your team up to bat and putting a 0 on the board.
Here's a 1-1.
But this young man's pitching for his life right now because he doesn't know anything else. And he really came into this game with the unknown that the Astros don't know him. Obviously, he doesn't know the Astros. So
last night's starter, Ian Anderson. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Danger pitch. Bregman takes a strike at 93.
Bregman's definitely not locked in, and we've shown the numbers to show it, but he is definitely not swinging at the outside pitch when they throw it to him. That one surprised him a little bit because I didn't think that was outside. It was right down the middle, and he did take that one. So a little bit in between right now for a great player in Alex Bregman.
2-2 pitch. Struck him out. 1 away.
Well, now he can breathe. If you get that first out and you're facing a lefty and you're possibly 1 or 2 pitches away from a double play and getting out of it, a great changeup right there. 2 strikes.
Now it's Alvarez 2 on 1 out. Bregman now 1 for 10 in this World Series. His 1 hit was one he bounced through a wide open right side of the infield last night.
You got to be careful with Altuve getting too big of a lead and trying to steal third against this young lefty.
2 on 1 out. Ball 1 to Alvarez. Jordan 1 for 8 in the World Series overall. 7 at bats against left-handed pitching. He's 1 for 7. Hit well against lefties in the ALCS, 8 for 13.
Looks the ball middle, down, middle in, middle away, up and in, not so much.
Two 2-0 with a right-handed hitting Correa on deck. And Kyle Wright getting loose.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is put a bases loaded situation for Kyle Wright to enter the game. In a perfect world, you want him to enter the game in the second inning fresh. He is a starter, but certainly will be coming in out of relief tonight.
Yordan Alvarez has been so good. The 24-year-old. Count in his favor. 2-0 pitch. High and tight, 3-0. And as we've seen all postseason long, Yordan Alvarez doesn't do the pitchers any favors. He doesn't chase anything.
No, he doesn't. And watching this guy over the last couple of years and just seeing what he can become, I mean, he is a monster at the plate, both with average and power and a good eye.
Tension in the ballpark with a 3-0 pitch on its way.
Ball four.
Bases are loaded. An infield hit, 2 walks, and it looks like that might be it. With Correa coming up. And Dylan Lee is going to exit, it appears. And he is. So that's it. He gets 1 out. Correa coming up. Big spot here in game 4. First inning, bases loaded, 1 out. Opportunity for the Astros and Carlos Correa. And it's Kyle Wright right into the fire after Dylan Lee. He made his major league debut on the 1st of October. Allows an infield hit, walks 2, did get a strikeout of Bregman. And now Kyle Wright against Carlos Correa, who has struggled. Takes a strike. Woo!
Well, this is an impossible situation for this young man, but he has tremendous stuff. Heavy sinking fastball, which you just saw right there. Great breaking balls and a really good changeup. So welcome to your first home World Series game this year. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Dealing with Correa. Foul back, strike 2. Our player resume is sponsored by Indeed, and here's the struggle. Last 5 games, 1 for 17 with 1 RBI.
Now here's where Darno really has to be guarding on that spiked breaking ball in the dirt. With the bases loaded. Trust your catcher if you're Kyle Wright.
That's down. Wright, 5th overall pick in 2017. Made 2 big league starts this year with the Braves, went 0-1. Very good at AAA. And he has made 2 postseason starts. 1 good, 1 bad. That was last year. Here's a 1-2. 2-2.
And the bat, he was 1 pitch away from being good, and it just opened up on him. And in this situation right now, you don't want to go to 3-2. So you've picked in your brain, what's the pitch I want to throw to get action? Either a swing and a miss or an action ball at one of your infielders. Don't want to go to 3-2 if you can help it.
Two now. Down again. Full count.
It's a great take. You know he's got a heavy sinker, so you're in your eyes, you're saying, okay, if it starts at my knees, I got to let it go. And he did.
It was 0-2, now 3-2. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 1st. Astros needing something to happen, and a chopper on the infield. A run scores, the out at 1st. And the Astros take a Game 4 lead. It's an RBI ground out by Correa, not what he had in mind. And Kyle Tucker will be the hitter, second and third, 2 out. Ball hasn't left the infield yet.
Well, he got an out, and that's what you needed to do in that situation, even though you sacrificed giving a run. First run here for the Astros.
Infield hit by Altuve. RBI ground out by Correa with 2 walks.
Who goes through the most broken bats in the season? What player goes through the most?
And now Kyle Tucker, who has 15 RBIs this postseason. 12 have come with 2 out. Ball 1. Three for 11 in this World Series, hitting .275 this postseason. Here's a 1-0. Fooled him, a ball and a strike.
There's that changeup. Kyle Wright bounced around from starter to reliever to getting sent down. Can only imagine what he's thinking and getting back in this situation. He has all the pitches to go through this team. The question is, does he have the confidence that he can make all those pitches in this World Series game?
Tucker looking for a 2-out hit. And now Wright 1 strike away from getting out of all this, allowing just 1 inherited runner to cross the plate. Good rip by Tucker. Tucker in these big spots doesn't appear to be grinding at all, like he's hitting in the middle of May.
Yeah.
Is not going to get away far enough as d'Arnaud blocked it. 2-2.
Tucker does a great job at keeping his hands back. This is the curveball, and it never started high enough, right? Personally, I would throw the slider over the curveball against Tucker in his swing plane. Changeup allows him to keep. He handles the changeup off the right-handers pretty well.
One of these two teams is about to get a big lift. The Braves, if only 1 run scores, will sprint off that field, and the Astros looking for the 2-out base hit from Kyle Tucker. Two. Struck him out. What a job by the 26-year-old right-hander. Kyle Wright establishes order, gives up 1 inherited run. Braves lineup has Eddie Rosario leading off again. Freddie Freeman bats second, and Ozzie Albies in the middle. It's Austin Riley, Jock Peterson, and Travis d'Arnaud. The back end, Adam Duvall, Dansby Swanson, and now Kyle Wright. After taking over for Dylan Lee in the top of this first inning, and now it's Zach Greinke, who has not had a lot of work, to say the least, here over the last month.
No, he hasn't, and experience, he has a lot of it. But I've always said about experience, it's only good if you put yourself in situation to utilize that. And He won't be unnerved by anything, but he's not the same pitcher, Joe. He relies on pitching at the bottom of the zone. Even though you may hear him grunt, it's only 89 or 90 now. Tremendous athlete, and when he's on with command and pitchability. If he's not, the hitters will show up.
Crowd serenades Rosario with the Eddie chant, and the first pitch from Greinke at 90, upper part of the zone, strike one. Rosario, Freeman, and Albies against Greinke, who has always been tough on left-handed hitters. Since the beginning of last season, left-handed batters hitting under 200 against Greinke. One ball, one strike. Greinke has thrown less than 5 innings, 4 2/3 over the last 41 days. He brings it, and Rosario hits it in the air to center. Easy play for Tucker. One away. Pitcher profile for Zach Greinke is sponsored by DirecTV Stream. Last 4 starts.
Yeah, he's not going to be given the long leash. You see the number of pitches that he has thrown, and had some injuries this year to the neck, and certainly he has the mindset of all the years that he's pitched as an elite pitcher. Outside. But the stuff is not as quite as what he's used to, and so he'll pitch with that savvy and that experience and try to maneuver the strike zone a lot.
Yeah, Greinke twice on the injured list in September, once for COVID, the other for a strained neck. As Freeman dumps a base hit into center, hit it on a line, and it bounces in front of Tucker. 1 on, 1 out. And in case you didn't believe me that Greinke's tough on left-handed hitters, Ozzie Albies, who's a switch hitter, is going to bat right-handed against Zach Greinke.
You know, part of this has to do with the lack of velocity, I'm sure, and the kind of spin that he creates. So I'm intrigued by it. It would probably throw me for a loop if I was Greinke, but we'll see.
3 for 11 in this World Series, righty on righty. Ball one.
You think about it, Albies is never seeing this too often, where he's batting right-handed against a right-hander. He's always got a view of the opposite arm to the style of hitting because he's a switch hitter.
Freeman at first, and a swing and a miss. Let's check in with Tom Verducci.
Well, Joe, you can't tell by that swing, but right-handed is the natural side for Ozzie Albies. The Braves turned him into a switch hitter when they signed him at 16. It's always been his better side. Now, earlier this year against Ryan Harper, right-handed pitcher for the Washington Nationals, he batted right-handed to take the curveball away. Hit a curveball for a home run. He's trying to take away Greinke's breaking pitches.
1 is too high at 91 from Greinke. 2-1.
You normally see this against knuckleballers, but we don't have any knuckleballers anymore. But usually when there's a knuckleballer on the mound, a switch hitter turns around and will hit at the same side sometimes of the right-handed knuckleballer.
2 balls and a strike. Astros lead 1-0 in the first inning of Game 4, and Greinke steps off. Albies in his career as a right-handed batter against right-handed pitching is 3 for 9 with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, but it's only happened in the regular season. That is a foul ball. 2-2. Talk about Greinke being a really good athlete. He's a 6-time All-Star. He's a 6-time Gold Glove Award winner and a good hitter with 9 career home runs. He is due to bat second in the second after Gurriel and in front of Maldonado, as Dusty Baker moved the pitcher spot into the 8th position in the lineup. Here comes a 2-2.
Well, the stats do favor the team that scores first so far in the postseason. 27-7. So for the Astros, as we talked about in the open, they've been here, done that. I mean, they know they're a good team, and their offense is not going to stay silent very likely the rest of the series. That's the way they feel.
They did get a run, but that feels like a miss to them, I'm sure. And the starter goes a third of an inning, and then bases loaded, one out. There's a strikeout of Albies. 2 out here in the first inning with Riley coming up.
Four-seam fastball up. You can see the seams. He's got great spin on that four-seam fastball out of his hand. So a little bit of an illusion. Working the top, the bottom, the inside and outside of the strike zone. He wants to keep it out of the middle. The Braves are going to want to try to draw it into the middle.
See, he won the Cy Young Award in 2009. He's 23rd all-time in strikeouts and passed Cy Young on that list. October 3rd against the A's. Strike one on Austin Riley. Austin loves hitting here in the postseason. He has this year, hitting .348 in this ballpark compared to .167 on the road against the Brewers, the Dodgers, and over the first 2 games in Houston. The 0-1. Plenty of experience with this battery for Houston. Greinke, who's won 219 big league games, and Martin Maldonado, who's caught more innings since the beginning of last year than any other catcher across baseball. 1-1 pitch. That's at the knees. Strike 2.
He was giving up a lot of home runs this year. He didn't walk many. 30 home runs, 31 home runs, only 39 walks.
1-2 pitch is down and away.
I mentioned the injury. He started out in a good spot, 11-3, and then struggled in those last to fill out the year.
2-2 is fouled back, and Greinke is
tennis match.
Yeah, he's loud out there.
Pretty much got to do it on every pitch, right? If you only do it on fastballs, it kind of gives it away.
Good point. All right, so the count 2-2 on Riley. Runner at first, 2 down. Off the end of the bat into center, and Tucker is there. We played 1 in game 4. Astros lead it 1-0 behind their veteran right-hander.
So I can't get some of that money back that he took away from me when we were playing. You know, hitting homers off me and costing me stuff.
I mean, if anybody would be justified, it'd be somebody that actually gave up home runs to Big Papi and was a teammate for a short while.
Yeah.
Here's Greinke. 117 career hits and 521 at bats and 9 home runs. And he grounds one up the middle, a base hit. He was on the list last night as a pinch hitter, and he gets a knock right up the middle, and his dugout loves it. That's a smile on the face of Zach Greinke.
As it should be. Batting 8th. Respect for his ability to handle the bat. You know, he hasn't done this in a while, but I'm sure he would say it's like riding a bike. Most of the pitchers are great athletes, but you already know that, Joe.
You tell me every day. 1 on, 1 out for Martin Maldonado.
Now, if He steals a base in the World Series. That's doing something.
Saw that note, first pitcher with a hit in a World Series game since Corey Kluber back in 2016. Meanwhile, Zach Greinke is on a list of 2. The only other pitcher not to hit 9th in the World Series in a lineup, Babe Ruth. In 1918 World Series Game 4, he hit 6th. Here's one into right. That ball's going to get down, and it's 2 on with 1 out. Back-to-back hits by Greinke and Maldonado. Baseball's a crazy game. 2 on, 1 out. Well, while Maldonado is on base, there is news, Ken Rosenthal, about their bench and their backup catcher situation.
There is, Joe. A few hours before the game tonight, the Astros learned that they needed to place their backup catcher, Jason Castro, in COVID-19 protocols. Now, their general manager, James Click, declined to say whether Castro had tested positive, but it stands to reason he is out for the series. There's only 4 days left in the season after tonight. He has been replaced by Garrett Stubbs. Like Castro, a left-handed hitter, but only a 182 career hitter in 87 plate appearances. This was Jason Castro's first World Series in his 11th year.
Strike 1 now to Altuve, and along with not having Castro and his experience behind the plate, that is a big left-handed bat off the bench that Dusty Baker really likes. They'll miss him.
Yeah, it sure is. Too bad for him, for sure.
Altuve took a strike, a rarity, and now grounds one, lines one, caught as it stays in the air, and a diving catch by Riley. 2 down. What a play by the big-bodied third baseman as he got it before it hit the dirt. 2 out.
Yeah, that is a great play, and one that might look back and see what could have been for the Astros. This could have been a huge inning.
Big time play, 2 on, 2 out, and Brantley will be the hitter. Greinke took the jacket off on this 52-degree night. He's a lead runner. Brantley takes a strike. Woo! Pitcher hitting 8th gets a hit. The catcher who struggled at the plate gets a hit, and then Altuve lines out. Brantley 5 for 13 in this World Series, and Greinke's bouncing around at second. A chopper to second. Albies flips. 2 hits in the inning. Astros have left 4 already. Bottom of the second. 1-0 Houston. Bottom of the second, Jock Peterson will lead off against Greinke. 1-0 Houston. Strike 1.
I wouldn't expect many fastballs to Jock. He struggles against the breaking balls, and you saw the first one there by Greinke, and Greinke has a tremendous touch on all the different type of off speeds that he can throw. He might surprise him with a fastball here or there, but not many.
And wouldn't that be the worry if you were Greinke, with the lack of work, the touch, the feel that he needs to be successful?
Yeah, the one good sign, though, that I've seen is on his 4-seam fastball, already getting swings and misses. He didn't get many against Boston in a short outing, and he looks like he's more rested and has a little more life on his pitches. But that changeup you saw right there, and the curveball and the slider, he still has the athleticism to throw him.
There you go. 90. There's the fastball. Peterson was looking for something else, and now he's in the hole. Darno and Duvall, the next 2 hitters. They're the numbers, including the postseason, and why, despite being a left-handed hitter, Peterson gets the nod tonight. He has history, and good history, against Greinke. However, tonight, 0 for 1 as he grounds out to Correa. That'll bring in Travis d'Arnaud. Step Up to the Plate is sponsored by Uber Eats. He last night became the second NL catcher with a home run in back-to-back World Series games, joining Roy Campanella from games 3 and 4 in 1955. Fooled on that pitch, strike one.
Greinke in his day can throw him as slow as about 59 miles an hour, kind of like an eephus pitch breaking ball. He'll vary the speeds on it, and that's where he's going to try to mess with the timing of these Braves hitters tonight.
Two quick strikes on d'Arnaud, who's got 7 career postseason home runs now in 39 games. This postseason, the 2 he's hit in back-to-back games, his 2 during this run. That's outside. On the list of most postseason home runs by a National League catcher, Johnny Bench and Javi Lopez tied for the most with 10. Here's a 1-2 to d'Arnaud. Got him looking, and d'Arnaud knew it. 2 out.
Slow him down, speed him up. And that's the one variant that Greinke has left in his arsenal.
And he's smart.
Yep.
And he's out there trying to outthink these guys digging into the box. It's no longer just rear back and throw it. Trying to keep these hitters off balance as Adam Duvall steps in and takes ball 1.
You see, he's always had elite command, and that little cutting action on his fastball is just the feel that he has for pitching. Again, goes to the all-around type player he is. Loves competing, obviously loves hitting, fielding.
1-0 pitch on the way, and just outside. 2-0. Duvall slides down. d'Arnaud moves up a spot in the Braves lineup tonight. Two for 12 in the World Series. He takes ball 3. Swinging on 3-0, and he gets a base hit. Second inning continues for Dansby Swanson.
Swanson's had a little bit of success off of Greinke in his limited time against him.
Big year with the bat. 27 home runs, 88 RBIs.
What we've been watching, not too many pitchers so far have made a mistake to Swanson middle half where he can use that power. So many extra base hits this year out of a shortstop. They've been pitching him away and making a lot of good pitches here in this series.
Swanson 4 for 9 in his career against Zach Greinke. High drive into left. It will carry to Alvarez. And Jordan is coming up second in the third as we go there. Astros lead 1-0 with Alex Bregman first up for Houston. Wright brings it and a strike. Nice enough to join us from down in the dugout is Ian Anderson, last night's starter. And Ian, first of all, congratulations. That had to feel good coming off the field with 5 no-hit innings under your belt.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it was awesome.
And you have to be happy for Kyle Wright on the mound, the job he's already turned in tonight.
Oh yeah, couldn't be happier for him. You know, I had a chance to see him pitch down in Gwinnett when I was rehabbing, and you know, every time he takes the mound, you wonder why he wasn't up here. And you know, he's shown really good stuff so far. So looking forward to keeping watching him deal.
Will pop up out behind second, and Albies goes to get it. 1 out here in the third inning. A little nicer night weather-wise tonight than you dealt with last night, but it didn't seem to bother you at all in game number 3.
Yeah, no, definitely nicer tonight. I feel like I was kind of embracing it a little bit, though. The rain, kind of the weather, the whole moment, trying to take it in. So, yeah, nothing really could have ruined that night.
Yeah, and I know you heard Dusty Baker describe your pitching last night as effectively wild, and unless I read it wrong, you said, yeah, that's a pretty good description of how you worked in game 3.
Yeah, I felt like we wanted to stay on the attack, and that didn't necessarily mean, you know, just laying pitches in there. We wanted to you know, make quality pitches and kind of force their hand, force them to, you know, take some swings at some close pitches, and you know, ultimately I think that's kind of what happened.
Jordan Alvarez now with 1 out, nobody on, as Wright got Bregman, who's now 1 for 11 in this series. Here's a 1-0 pitch from the right-hander. That's ball 2. Alvarez walked his first time. This is a big-bodied, imposing-looking hitter, I would imagine, when you're on the mound, Ian.
Oh yeah, this whole team. I mean, they got some big guys up there, and you know, you definitely know about the power of these guys. So it's definitely something that you're thinking about when you're out there.
You know, last night you were taken out with 5 no-hit innings. Obviously, with the pitch count, it didn't look like you were going to go 9 anyway. But did you have any problem with coming out after 5?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to be out there and competing. I mean, it's the biggest stage in this game, and in a way, and you know, you want to stay out there. But you know, you look at the guys that we have coming in behind me, and you know, AJ's been phenomenal in the postseason, and they used him to kind of get to the big dogs at the back end. So. I don't think you can, you know, blame Snit necessarily for making that move.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Jordan Alvarez. Kyle Wright brings it and just missed the outside corner.
Ian, you're becoming a postseason veteran, but when face a team, you don't have any information. How did you come up with your game plan, having never really faced the Houston Astros?
Yeah, it's you know, it's a team effort definitely with Sal Fasano. Sal and you know, all the other pitchers we have, and then Travis and Cranny. So I think that's, you know, when you're facing a team for the first time, and it's kind of the mindset I had last year. I was facing all these teams for the first time. You know, you want to pitch your game. You want to pitch to your strengths, and not let the scouting report dictate, you know, too much of what you're going to do until, you know, maybe they force you into it.
When you hear that you're described by a fellow pitcher on your staff as a 23-year-old trapped in a 65-year-old's body, what is that? Yeah, you've been described as an old soul. What does that mean to you?
I get a kick out of it. I really do. I think I think it's a good identity to have as a starting pitcher in this game.
Here's one into left center field off the bat of Correa. It's 2 on with 1 out. Well, we'll let you go with this. Congratulations on an outstanding effort last night, and good luck the rest of this series. We really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, Ian Anderson, last night the winning pitcher in game number 3, that 2-0 win as the Atlanta staff put together a 2-hit shutout.
From the first pitch to the last pitch, there was so much tension in that game because it was so close. And a lot of great pitching took down a great offense. And you just feel like the Houston Astros are getting close to that breakthrough big inning where they've put up those crooked numbers against the Red Sox when they were down 2-1. And early on in every inning, flirting with that.
Here's Tucker now with 2 on. Takes a pitch that barely misses. Tucker struck out with runners at second and third and 2 out in the first inning. And the Astros got their only run on an RBI ground out by him, Carlos Correa. Astros 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight. 1-0. 2-0. And that draws Travis d'Arnaud out from behind home plate. So they will chat, and we will give you this information that tonight's telecast is sponsored by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G, and by Allied. We're all better off with an ally. A walk, a single, 1 out. And a 2-0 count on Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, very dangerous count here with runners on and 1 out. Tucker, of course, we talk about no batting gloves, but his feet, he hits with his feet. Every hitter hits with his feet, and he's always trying to get the rhythm of his feet. And all these little gentle movements in the back foot, sliding it back and forth, getting in the position before he gets ready to hit. Tap dancing.
One of the best hitters in the American League takes ball 3, 3-0. The 6-7 combination in this Astros lineup so good with Yuli Gurriel next. What a chance here for Houston to change the scoreboard, get a little breathing room here as they trail in this World Series 2-1. Tucker grounds one right side. Albies to second, out, over to first, safe. First and third, 2 down.
Just a little bit of a bobble and just a little delay from Albies, making sure he got the first out, or the first out of a double play possibility at second. Watch this right here. Just a little hesitation, and when he gets it to Swanson, the speed of Tucker beats it out. But a big 3-0 ground ball.
Yeah, right falls behind 3-0, gets Tucker to bounce into the force out. And now with a big hole on the right side of the infield, the batter is Gurriel. First and third, 2 out.
Wow, a lot of close pitches on the corners that are not being called, so you just know that as a pitcher you got to stay stubborn. You can't let that affect you in the way that you're trying to attack the hitters on both sides. Both pitchers dealing with it.
Here's a 1-0. 2-0. There's a base open. Zach Greinke's on deck. He's already singled tonight.
And they're going to walk him. They're not going to play with the batting champ.
The intentional pass to load him up for Zach Greinke. And Greinke will get a chance to add to the 1-0 lead.
When Wright came in the game, he was on top of his 2-seam fastball. Really good late movement down in the zone, getting a lot of power strikes. Lately getting a little bit flat and behind the ball, which not want to do as a 2-seam pitcher. And against Greinke, of course, he hit that sinker up. So you can't treat him, I mean, you will treat him like a regular hitter. And I'm sure the first pitch will show some sort of off-speed pitch, I would think.
Crowd jumps back in it. And a ground ball up the middle. Albies has it with a backhand and got him by a step to end the inning. And the Astros through 3 innings have left 7. Lead by 1 here in Game 4. Well, Kyle Wright has pitched very well And he has earned this at bat here in the third inning by doing so. Same for Greinke, as he just earned a second at bat and grounded out with the bases loaded a moment ago to end the top of the third. Still 1-0. And Wright takes a strike from Greinke. Wright, then Rosario, then Freeman. Strike two.
And this is the right move. They got to get innings out of Kyle Wright. Up 2-1. And now you get the top of the order, even if Kyle makes an out.
You think about the job that Wright has done. I mean, that first inning could have been a mess. And he comes in with the bases loaded, 1 out, and he allows only one inherited runner to cross the plate.
Yeah, it's not the ideal situation you want to put him in, especially if you were a little concerned about his confidence. But man, he got thrown into the fire and did a great job with that 3-2 pitch just to give up just one.
Swinging strike three for out number one.
You know, the interesting thing about Kyle is he came into this, once he got drafted, had tremendous stuff, and analytics is not for everybody, and sometimes it gets you into a place to be successful, and sometimes it gets you out of a place to be successful. They wanted to pitch in 4-seamers up, and they've gone back to making some mechanical changes and a 2-seamer.
Back to the top of the order, and Eddie Rosario, who flied to center his first time up. "21 hits, 51 at bats this postseason, strike one."
It's amazing. I mean, a lot of guys in this series go up there, and if they see it anywhere close to the area, it doesn't matter what the pitch is. A lot of time a hitter will go up there and particularly look for a pitch. But we've seen hitters swing at curveballs, sliders, changeups, fastballs on first pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike. Good start for Greinke. Lasted an inning and a third in the Game 4 start at Fenway. Line drive, base hit into center. Rosario 1 for 2. And he's on here in the third inning.
This is what I think is so important for the Braves. For the rest of this series, a lot of pressures on their left-handed hitters because the right-handed starters for the Astros have electric stuff, and it does neutralize their right-handed power. So guys like Jock Peterson in the game today, or Freddie Freeman, but I thought Albies was going to hit left-handed, but he's hitting right-handed.
Freddie Freeman beloved here through the rebuild. Comes up empty and a potential free agent to be. That's strike one. Hit 300 on the nose in the regular season after a slow start at 304 this postseason.
It's just amazing he hit 300. I don't think anybody understands how hard of the journey he had and how slow and bad of a start he had to his season. To end up hitting 300.
In the hole in a blink, 0-2.
That changeup drops a lot, starting out of his hand in the strike zone and almost bouncing. And Freddie swinging at it.
Oh, 2 pitch is outside. The reigning National League most valuable player waits. Backed up on the count, 1-2. Braves trailing tonight here in the third. Here it is. Outside.
Dusty's going to want to play the shortest game of the year, meaning he's going to put in his highest leverage relievers. He's got to bank a win to get back to Houston, right? You know that coming in. Split at home. Braves won the first game, so he won't stay very long with Greinke, especially if they have the lead, and he will use as much weapon that he can out of the bullpen to try and get this win if he's in position by the 5th inning.
2-2 pitch, ground ball right side. Altuve gets one. Correa got them both. Beautifully turned by Altuve and Correa to send game 4 into the 4th. With the Astros up 1. Fox Sports and TikTok are partnering this World Series to bring fans an all-access behind-the-scenes pass. Find all our coverage you have to see on MLB on Fox's TikTok and hashtag World Series.
That's inside.
First pitch inside to Martin Maldonado. 4th inning, still 1-0 on that first inning run that Houston scored. Charge to the starter Dylan Lee. Maldonado singled into right his first time and takes a strike here. Ball and a strike.
Well, Kyle Wright could really use a clean inning. This formula is not going to work against the Astros if you keep thinking you're going to have traffic on the bases and get out of it. Great job he's done, as we mentioned, coming in with bases loaded. But this team's too good, Joe. If you're going to keep going through the lineup at the rate they're going through, the leadoff hitter is going to hit for the 3rd time in the 4th inning.
They're getting base runners, but have only pushed 1 across on an RBI groundout. That's it. As they've left 7 runners on through 3 innings. 1-2 pitch. Skips in. Kyle Wright was 10-5 with an ERA just over 3 in 24 starts at AAA. Ground ball left side. Swanson guides it across, 1 away. Opportunities, but they've only pushed 1 across home plate.
And that's amazing job by the Braves so far, because again, you flirt with that and you're starting to look at a big inning and see if Altuve has a chance to set the record for fewest pitches seen in World Series, I gotta imagine.
I mean, you just expect it, although he did take a strike in his last at bat, eventually lined out with a couple runners on. First pitch swinging, strike 1. Guess that's why he does it. This postseason, 7 for 14 with all of his home runs. High fly ball into center. Back at the wall. It is gone. Home run Altuve. Astros up 2-0 and career postseason home run number 23. Nothing Astros here in the 4th inning.
Well, they got a sinker, I believe, that was pretty much central. You see the hands and the lateral movement coming right back over the middle of the plate. And that low center of gravity. Ball goes a long ways.
Batter now is Brantley. He takes ball 1 low. Altuve now with 12 home runs in the postseason following an Astros loss. He is right there to pick him up yet again. Brantley grounds to first. Freeman to the bag.
I was reading his lips. He said that was a bomb. It was. It was. And he should be proud of it.
Now he's second all alone. behind Manny Ramirez with his 23 career postseason home runs. Again, with the disclaimer, more opportunities these days, more rounds of postseason, but man, for a 5'6" second baseman, 23 career postseason home runs.
It is amazing. I mean,
Bregman takes a strike.
Truly, in this incredible sport that really captures all sizes and different styles to play the game. It's not, you can't be too small or you can't be too big. And
2 strikes on Bregman, who's 0 for 2.
but you can't measure how big his heart is, and that is a guy that loves to play the game.
Manny Ramirez hit his 29 postseason home runs in 111 games. Altuve his 23 home runs in 77 games. That last one traveled 434 feet and left the plate at over 105 miles per hour. And that was his first home run to center all year. Said one to right, the rest all pulled to left. Bregman strikes out. But Altuve has scored both runs. Scored one in the first, knocked home by Correa. Drives himself home here in the fourth with a solo blast, and the Astros lead Game 4 2-0. T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage, wants to send you on the baseball road trip of a lifetime. Win tickets to all 30 MLB ballparks and an RV to get you there. Just text road trip to 595959. There's a guy who's 5'8", fouls the first pitch away off to the right, and a guy who's 5'6", just homered moments ago.
Plays big, though.
Albies is 0 for 1, struck out, batting right-handed. The switch hitter against the right-hander Greinke. A ball and a strike.
I always thought the perfect caption of baseball was when Judge would be standing on second base and Altuve would be right next to him.
1-1 pitch. Back in 2017, they were battling it out for the MVP award. Judge won Rookie of the Year and Altuve won MVP.
Yeah. I guess we're going to find out if Albies batting right-handed is a good thing or not against Greinke.
2-2.
I just would love to know what would go into it. It's not like you have a ton of experience against him, but
2-2 pitch. Weird hot. Correa stays with it. And batting right-handed, Albies is 0 for 2. One out here in the fourth inning. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Geico. Happy Geico-ween. Switch to Geico for more ways to save. And by FTX, the official crypto exchange of MLB. Here's Austin Riley.
guy that can hit it a long ways at a different size.
Breaking ball for a strike.
Greinke's done a great job mixing and matching, staying on the center of the strike zone. He'll give up a couple singles here or there, but vintage Greinke changing the timing of the hitter.
Riley went around. Greinke was the 6th overall pick by the Royals in 02. Came up in 04, won the Cy Young in 09. Went to Milwaukee, the Dodgers. Won big in 2014 and 15. Arizona. Traded to Houston in 2019. Went 8-1 down the stretch. Started Game 7 of the World Series against Washington. Pitched great but got a no decision
on this date, I believe.
I can look that up.
I think it is. It's on this date. He was dealing.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. In that game, he didn't give up any runs until the 7th. And the bullpen couldn't hang on. And, you know, the Washington Nationals went on to win Game 7, which got them the World Series 2 years ago.
In a once-in-a-lifetime, never seen again, every team wins a road game.
Two pitch here to Riley, and foul tip keeps the at-bat alive. Okay, Game 7 was October 30th. Yes, 2019. Greinke went 6 1/3, 2 runs on 2 hits. Will Harris got the loss that night. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fouled back.
Do you lock that book in the safe when baseball's over? I mean, that is just gold right there.
I got it all right here from at least the last, I think, 4 World Series and regular season games mixed in. I let the 3-year-olds play with it.
I was going to wonder. I wondered if that was your drool or their drool.
No, it's my drool. Here's a 2-2 pitch yet again to Austin Riley. There's a base hit up the middle. And Greinke now has allowed 1 single in each inning he's pitched. You're going to meet on the mound with Peterson coming up, and we'll send it down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, Astros pitching coach Brent Strom said before the game he ideally wanted 15 outs out of Greinke. That number did not seem especially realistic. Greinke gave the Astros only 4 outs in Game 4 of the ALCS, threw about 50 pitches in a simulated game Sunday. But tonight, 11 swings and misses. In Game 4 of the ALCS, he had 0.
Yeah, his stuff has got more life tonight. There's no doubt about that. There's Brent. While action starts for the Astros in their bullpen. And you called this early, John. It's Ryan Stanek getting loose. They're not going to play around here down in this series as they lead 2-0. Peterson 0 for 1. Jock does have 2 home runs in his career against Greinke. Strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch is down. A ball and a strike.
So far for the Astros, I know yesterday didn't go well, but their outfield hasn't come into play. A lot of questions were going to be about would their outfield be up to the task.
Off the end of the bat, Altuve. Lead runner is gone. Throw to first. Got it. What a turn by Correa. And another double play turned by the Astros infield. 2nd straight inning. They've gone 4-6-3 to end the frame. Lead by 2 after 4. Back after this from your local Fox station. Well, Zach Greinke has been getting handshakes down in the dugout, which leads you to believe his night is over. And if it is, and if it isn't, he couldn't have pitched any better, as he's thrown 4 shutout innings. He's allowed 4 singles, struck out 3, walked nobody.
He might even still hit if they've taken him out of the game.
Yeah. if it gets down there. It's Alvarez, Correa, Tucker, Gurriel, and then Greinke would be the scheduled hitter. They've lost Jason Castro now on the COVID list. There's a 2-0 pitch, a strike to Yordan Alvarez. The very patient slugger has walked twice. 2-2.
It's amazing how hitters function in the postseason, and we haven't seen really much of them getting out of their character. You face guys in the postseason and they get more aggressive, advantage pitcher. You face guys in the postseason, they get more patient, advantage hitter.
Alvarez. Still 2-2. Tomorrow, big doubleheader on Fox. 49ers and Bears earlier, or other regional action. Then America's Game of the Week, Tom Brady and the Bucks against Alvin Kamara and the Saints. All on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check local listings for the games in your area. Then we'll be back here with Game 5 tomorrow night. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Big pitch and a swing and a miss by Alvarez. Strikeout number 3 for Kyle Wright. Carlos Correa is 1 for 2 with an RBI ground out and a single. Let's check in with Tom Verducci.
Yeah, well, Dusty Baker, not just an accomplished manager, very good hitting coach. He noticed that Carlos Correa was hitting too much into a crouch. And Dusty doesn't get involved often with the hitters, but if he sees something very simple like that, he'll pass it on. Today in the batting cage before the game with Alex Cintron, Carlos is really working on being more upright at the plate. As you can see, he's not as sunk into his knees and legs as he had been earlier in the series.
Yeah, Dusty telling us before the game, if you do that, then your first move, you have to get out of that crouch. And it just slows everything down. 1-0 pitch is grounded to short. It sounded like he broke his back. 2 out. Boy, how good has Kyle Wright been?
He's got electric stuff, and there's never been a question of that. And it's been now trying to put together a game plan for him and his own identity. What makes him feel like he's at his best? Again, information will tell you what you need to know. But on a night like tonight, coming into the first inning, might just be what helps turn him around. Because Atlanta, you don't draft a guy #1 if you don't think he's fantastic. And certainly has that kind of makeup.
Yeah, he's just 26 years old from Huntsville, Alabama. May just be figuring it all out after a big year at AAA. 2 out, bases empty for Tucker. Strike 1. Tomorrow, Framber Valdez will go back to the mound. As you look at the numbers for Kyle Wright, he pitched game 1 in Houston. There's Framber, and then that would be Charlie Morton's spot. But another question mark for the Braves because of the broken leg suffered by Morton in game 1. That's a strike in the count 0-2.
You know, one of the things the Braves could do, depending on what happens tonight, they could bring Max Fried back on short rest. More than likely they won't. They'll have him for game 6 because there's a guaranteed game 6 if the Braves don't win the next 2 games.
Here's the 0-2 and fouled away. Oh, 0-2 pitch is down in the dirt. Kyle Wright brings it, and same pitch, 2-2.
And that's going to be part of his growth, right? Everything is going to be thrown with the utmost effort to make every pitch the best pitch he can make. And you understand why that would be, but when you can relax and know that every pitch doesn't have to be the very best, you'll put hitters away quicker and you'll get results quicker.
Here's a 2-2. That is into center. Past Albies, fielded by Duvall, and a 2-out single by Tucker. That brings in Gurriel. And on deck is Chas McCormick, where Greinke would be. It's 1 on, 2 out.
These sinkers are right into that swing, and he tried to put them away with a breaking ball and then a changeup. And everything that Kyle throws is a power breaking ball, power changeup, power slider.
And we had McCormick out there, and he just ran back, and Marwin Gonzalez came out. Action just started for the Braves out in their pen. Tucker stumbled. Throw down to second is past the glove of Albies and into center as Tucker gets up and goes to third. Thought Tucker might put on the brakes, but he kept going after stumbling with that initial move. And that'll be another error on d'Arnaud and a stolen base.
Yeah, but Albies will tell you he's got to come up. Well, that one was a little harder than it looked when it first hit the edge of the grass. But you're right, he got a little bit going and long strides. And now with nothing more than puts more pressure on Kyle Wright and d'Arnaud here with pitches in the dirt.
High and tight to Gurriel. So another stolen base for Kyle Tucker. That is 5. 5 for 5 this postseason, and the throwing error by d'Arnaud.
We're not going to pitch to him again, which they shouldn't.
Second intentional pass. And Marwin Gonzalez, who hit here last night and struck out, walk to the plate as the big right-hander Chris Martin gets loose. And Rick Kranitz will come out and talk. So while they converse, we'll give you a quick word from MasterCard.
You can plant a tree here by donating from here for a chance to win a trip to next year's MLB All-Star Game. Rooting for our planet is priceless.
So with the lineup constructed the way it is, with a pitcher spot behind Gurriel, Yuli Gurriel, the American League batting champion, has been intentionally walked twice tonight. And instead of Greinke digging in, it's going to be Marwin Gonzalez after Zach went 4 strong innings with 3 strikeouts, no runs.
A lot of former starters sitting at home watching this game, just shaking their head going, man, wins are hard to come by, but this, if he came up and was the reason he got taken out, you can kind of live with it a little bit, but you're up 2-0.
Won't be eligible for the win, as he doesn't go 5. Gonzalez, his journey has brought him all the way back to Houston. Takes the ball.
I said he stayed out of the center of the zone, did Greinke, and really only 2 hard hit balls, 95 or higher.
Also got a hit. He was 1 for 2 while he was in there. This crowd that's been so electric for the Braves this postseason, where they've won 6 straight and 11 of their last 12 overall has been taken out of the ball game to this point. Gonzalez waits for a 1-0. Ball 2. Takes ball 2. No stranger to postseason at bats is Marwin Gonzalez.
Trap hole.
Kyle Wright trying to get through this 5th. Gets the call this time, 2-1.
Been putting a lot of those on the corners. 1 for 2 on the call in the corner of the breaking ball, but a good pitch nonetheless to get him back in the at bat.
The Astros scored 27 runs with 2 outs in the ALCS against Boston. So far, 1 run with 2 outs through now 3.5 games of this World Series. Here's a 2-1. 2-2. Now the crowd's back. Gonzalez pops it into left. Rosario is there, and the Astros have stranded 9. Halfway through it in Atlanta, game 4. Astros up 2-0. Give you a game summary as this game moves into the bottom of the 5th. Jose Altuve has gone deep. He scored both runs for Houston. Zach Greinke outstanding. 4 innings, no runs, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks. Also had a base hit while batting the number 8 spot. However, the Astros offense 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They've left 9 runners on as Ryan Stanek takes over and misses outside to d'Arnaud.
That's one of those games you feel like you should be way up. Right now, you're trying to hold that lead with this power bullpen. So if you're the Braves, you face somebody that didn't throw but 90 and a lot of off speed. Now you're going to face 97, 98 for a while.
1 ball, 1 strike on d'Arnaud.
I asked each manager, of course they've been in the game forever, and you know, what is it like? You always talk to players, what is it like when you're doing this or doing that, but managers in an unconventional way having to deal with this type of game because of injuries and just not having the depth in the starters. A bullpen type game.
That's on the inside corner, strike 2. d'Arnaud struck out his first time. Stanek really ended the regular season hot at a 1.15 ERA in his last 16 outings. And so he's one of the guys that Dusty Baker trusts coming out of the bullpen. And those lists can get awfully short with who managers trust this time of year.
It's amazing.
Out of the pen.
It's amazing. One bad outing at the wrong time late in the year, or even in a postseason game, you almost feel like you're handcuffed and not being able to go back to him. But the 3 power arms that he likes, of course, will be in this game tonight as long as they have the lead. Stanek always starts with that split finger grip, because when he goes in the glove, it's easier to change to a fastball than change to a split.
Right at Altuve. 1 out. And the batter will be Duvall. Defensive Ally is sponsored by Ally. And athletically speaking, you look at what the bullpen has done for the Astros this postseason. A 2.89 ERA, a record of 4-1, and a lot of work. 65 in the third inning.
I see what they did there. They put the Ally.
The Ally, yes.
After the. You cannot fool me.
No, you're on it. With 1 out, here's Duvall. You know, the other works in the postseason as well, where guys can climb onto a trusted list, and I think that's where Brooks Raley is now.
Yeah.
The lefty who's really looked good in the postseason. He's the guy, left-hander, getting loose. Duvall singled his first time against Greinke, and that's strike 1.
You know, the next level for this kind of, information world for baseball is knowing what guys' heartbeats are really like in these moments. Right? You want to know more information about players, whether you're drafting them or you're trying to sign them or trade for them, because this time of the year really does have those things that we talked about, the separators where the lights get brighter and maybe he gets more anxious, or this guy gets out of his routine. And so you can find out a lot in this time about your club and about certain players.
1 out, base is empty, and a pitch that's high, 1-1. Duvall with 40 home runs this season. 38 plus 2. Regular season, postseason. Martin up again. 1-1 pitch. Ball 2. Kyle Wright, who came on in the first inning with the bases loaded, 1 out. Allowed 1 inherited runner to score and then gave up the home run to Altuve. But the 4 2/3 innings tonight, longest by an Atlanta Brave reliever in their postseason history. Big swing and a miss, 2-2.
That's the pitch he wanted, and that's not the pitch Stanek wants to throw again. That's the split finger that hangs in the plate. It did have depth to it, but this kind of swing plane right here, you could see Maldonado kind of not flinch, but that pitch needs to start in the middle and drop down.
He wasn't so sure he was going to be catching that one.
Yeah.
Here's a 2-2. High fly ball into left. That'll be handled by Alvarez, or should be. 2 out.
Alvarez is like, forget DH. This thing's easy.
Having fun playing the outfield in this non-DH lineup. 2 out. And Dansby Swanson, who's 0 for 1 and flied to Alvarez his first time, steps in. Ball 1 inside.
This crowd was hoping for a doubleheader win today. Well, most of them. The Georgia Bulldogs and then their Atlanta Braves.
Meanwhile, congratulations to you, Mr. Michigan State.
Oh, thank you very much.
What a game that was. Michigan State beating Michigan earlier today. 1-0 the count. Georgia beat Florida 34-7.
I just couldn't finish that part. My wife went to Florida.
Oh. Loyal husband. Shout out to Catherine. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, nobody on. Swanson trying to get on with Adrianza in the on deck circle. Strike 2. Darno grounded out. Duvall flied out. And the 1-2 pitch. Another foul ball.
We also talked to Dusty before, and his anxiety level of not being able to get on the field and take BP and do the things that you just think come natural, and not having been here since what, 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago. So I think there are 4 players left on this roster that had played here. It was the first year of this stadium. Here's a 1-2 and struck him out looking. But so far for Dusty's crew, so good, as they lead by 2 after 5 here in game number 4. The pitching of Greinke, now Stanek doing the job for Houston. That's how it's played out this postseason for sure. And he'll come up second here in the 6th inning against the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Braves, Chris Martin. Tall right-hander takes over after the work by Wright, bailing out the Braves and Dylan Lee back in the 1st and getting this game into the 6th. Just 3 games and 2 innings pitched this postseason for Martin. They've got 4 guys in that Atlanta bullpen that Brian Snitker leans on. Here's one that floats to Albies. 1 pitch, 1 out. So it's not Jackson or Matzik or Minter or Smith. Right now it's Martin. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Indeed. We help people get jobs.
Well, you would think at his height it would be easy to go downhill, but every pitcher needs to go downhill and finish their pitches. And against right-handers, he's going to throw a fastball, and his second best pitch will be his slider. And then about 13% he'll throw his cutter.
Here's Altuve. Strike 1 from Martin. Martin had 1 save during the regular season, ERA of just under 4. Pitched 43 1/3 innings over 46 outings. 3rd year with Atlanta. Altuve with 2 hits tonight. An infield hit, then he lined out with 2 on in the 2nd, and he homered to center in the 4th. One. Ball upstairs, ball 2. Coming into the game, Fox Bet Sportsbook had Altuve at plus 350 to hit a home run, so a $10 bet returned 45.
You know, in other sports, if certain things happen, your success rate goes out. If a football team rushes for so many yards or a basketball team hits so many threes, I wonder what it's like for the Houston Astros when Altuve bats 4 times by the 6th inning. I bet you it's a high rate of win. A win probability goes up.
High strike there, and the count 2-2. Well, there's no doubt. And you saw that they don't waste opportunities when he gets on base. When he gets on base, he typically scores. As this one was called a strike.
That angle really does look different.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Got him on the outside corner, 2 out. And Michael Brantley will be the hitter.
fairness, I mean, when you see this angle, it is a little bit difficult to get straight on, right? That pitch right there on the paint, meaning the pitcher's in the way. So we have the strike zone box up there. There are definitely, everyone can see from night to night where some of the pitches are. And the hitters will tell you, for the most part, what they think.
In at the knees to Brantley, strike one.
And sometimes the pitchers will let the umpires know what they think. Not as much anymore. I had my moments.
I'm sure. Just the way you caught the ball coming back from the catcher.
I learned not to stare in so much.
Here's an 0-1 pitch. Brantley grounds one into center for a base hit. In the 6th inning, the top half continues for Bregman, who is really searching for his swing. 1 for 12 in this World Series. That guy seems to never be searching for a swing. Brantley is just fun to watch hit.
Yeah, he hit a split finger off of Martin, who throws that primarily to left-handers. And when you know, we only get to see the game action. I'm sure this is what he does in batting practice. You got to practice what you typically will do in the game, and it carries forward.
Bregman grounds to short. Swanson, the short wave for the inning-ending out. And for Atlanta, it'll be the 9, 1, and 2 spots in their order. Bottom of the 6th, down 2. Left-hander Brooks Raley takes over here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0 Houston here in Game 4. And Orlando Arcia is at the plate. He bats for Martin. And goes after the first pitch, lines it into right for Brantley. 1 pitch, 1 out. Raley takes over for Stanek, who pitched a perfect inning with a strikeout. And Eddie Rosario will take his time coming to the plate. Got a lefty here, a lefty on deck, and then the switch hitting Ozzie Albies. There is action for Houston out in their bullpen.
Fastball, curveball. Maton is definitely a weapon.
Strike 1 on Rosario. There've been 11 hits in the ball game total, just 2 runs. 0-1 delivery on its way, and Rosario takes the ball.
Really likes throwing a lot of curveballs to left-handers. He's got that good arm action. Doesn't overpower you with a fastball, but he'll use his secondary stuff to get you out.
Raley's ERA is bloated here in the postseason because of a 3-run effort in Game 3 of the division series, but an ERA of just over 1.5 in his last 5 outings. He's gotten some big outs for Dusty Baker as he hits the outside corner. 2-2. That is ripped down into the corner. One hop up against the wall. Rosario will dig for second and be content with a one-out double.
He is amazing. I mean, it's been an unbelievable postseason, but he's been amazing with 2 strikes. Much better hitter with 2 strikes than when he's ahead in the count, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but the guy loves to hit. He wants to hit before he walks, and he hooks this down the line, similar to that homer he hit down the line off of Walker Buehler. And now Freddie Freeman has a chance to draw them closer or possibly tie it up.
1 for 2 on the night. Freeman. Strike 1. 23 hits this postseason for Eddie Rosario. Added on the 30th of July. Now Maldonado's going to go out and talk with a runner at second. As they go through what they want to do sign-wise with Freeman at the plate. So they'll talk, and we'll give you a quick word from Google Cloud.
This is one heck of a script. Looking for a little bit of history. Ground ball. Kim will go to first. It's their first no-hitter. Java Joe. No.
Oh, 1 to Freeman. Here's a 1-1 from Rayleigh and well outside. 2-1. Maton, we showed you. Switch hitting Albies on deck. Matzik and Smiley, 2 left-handers. Two of the 6 the Braves have in their bullpen. That's scooped up. Ball 3.
The Braves haven't had a ton of opportunities, and we already mentioned how many opportunities the Astros had with 10 guys left on base. Don't know how many opportunities against this really good bullpen the Astros have the Braves are going to get. So you almost feel like cashing in here would be huge.
Brooks Raley trying to pitch around that one-out double. Freeman looking for something to smoke. Good pitch. 3-2.
Three 3-1 breaking ball that he started at Freddie. Freddie wasn't prepared for that.
Three-two pitch. Foul.
In his career off the left-handers, Freddie handles the curveball much better than the slider, but in this year, it's been the opposite. But in his career, he follows that curveball pretty well against left-handers.
A walk to Freeman. And that'll be it for Raley. With Albies coming up. Phil Maton is coming in. Tomorrow night, after a full day of the NFL on Fox, we'll be back here for Game 5 of this series between the Astros and the Braves. On the air following football at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on Fox and the Fox Sports app. What will the series be? 2-2 or 3-1? This inning may have a lot to say about that. 2 on, 1 out, 2-0 Houston. the number 3 hitter, Ozzie Albies, coming up against Phil Maton.
Well, the scouting report on Albies from the left-hand side, he doesn't have much success on high fastballs. He can, but typically likes the ball middle to middle down. He doesn't like it in, and he struggles with curveballs. What does Phil Maton do? He throws a lot of fastballs up and a lot of curveballs.
Rosario, the lead runner, Freddie Freeman behind him. 1 out. Maton spins it in, and a breaking ball fouled by Albies. Phil Maton, 22 inherited runners with the Astros, only 6 scored in the regular season and the postseason. That's 27%. The MLB average is 35%.
Now again, the way that the Astros are playing defense against Albies, they would have a hard time keeping Rosario close. You see where Correa is. Look how far away he is from the bag. So he's going to try his best to keep him there, but you could almost feel like you could get a huge lead. Inside. With Bregman playing in, of course, and away from the bag, you just don't see too many teams take chances on stealing, especially in a high leverage situation with the hitter at the plate.
Maton started his year in Cleveland, ends his year in the World Series with Houston. Traded in July as he gets it by the bat of Albies. Strike 2.
There's the high fastball. Albies has that uppercut swing. Throws it, and you just see where his hands in the barrel gets underneath the bat. And again, it's not 98, but it's the angle at which he throws.
Now a 1-2. 2-2. Two-two pitch is outside, a full count.
Again, a situation where we've seen it before. They didn't send the runners, and Albies struck out yesterday. But even if they send them, I don't think, unless they throw behind, meaning try to get Freeman, but Freeman would have too big of a lead anyways.
Here's a 3-2. Runners don't go, and a foul at the plate. Runners stay put. Albies strikes out. 2 down as Maton got it by him. Albies 0 for 3 tonight.
Scouting report executed perfectly. It took a 3-2 pitch, but he threw another high fastball, and again, Albies from the left side just can't get the barrel. Doesn't have that particular swing. See how he tries, but gets underneath it. This guy has this kind of swing.
And this guy's gotten some big hits for the Braves this postseason. Austin Riley. 2 on, 2 out. Strike 1. Two homers, 7 RBIs this postseason. Had one of the 2 runs batted in last night in the Game 3 win. Riley trying to deliver with 2 out. He checked his swing, a ball and a strike. Riley takes strike 2. Woo!
Sequence of signs. They want to make sure. Both of them looking at their card to make sure they've got the right sequence. Don't want to get crossed up here.
A ball and 2 strikes on Austin Riley. And a check swing didn't go again. 2-2. Mike Malinsky, the first base umpire, has been asked twice.
If your first move is like that, and I know it was a check swing, but you're not going to hit it, to get on top of that fastball.
Two pitch now. There's a shot into left, base hit. Alvarez plays it on a bounce. Throws to the plate. Too late. Other runners advance. Safe. And it's a 2-1 game. RBI by Riley.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked in that pitch selection right there. Just based on the reactions of the high fastball, Joe, he went with a breaking ball, and this one caught the middle of the plate. You see how it pops out of his hand, stays right there, and Riley stays back and delivers a good blow to left field.
And now it looks like they're going to ask to, I believe, check that play at second base with Riley. The throw by Alvarez not good. And they want to see if Altuve had the glove on Riley when he came off the bag.
Big man sliding in, all that momentum goes on the bag and then takes it off and the top of the bag, and then right when he takes it off is when I think if he would have held it a little longer, that would have been a possibility. But is the batting glove part of touching the bag?
Well, that's, I mean, this moment here hangs in the balance. It's a 1-run game. The run will score. Run scored prior to this play, but
see where he comes off, that's when the tag comes off of Riley. See, he's still on. Now the glove comes off, and I personally don't think it's something they could, unless there's a different angle, but a huge hit to at least cut the deficit to 2-1.
I agree. It looks like when Riley goes past the bag, the glove comes off his back. And he is safe. And it's second and third, and Yordan Alvarez threw to the plate, didn't have any chance to get Rosario, and the throw just kind of died in the middle of the infield. And both runners are able to advance. Now a base hit could put Atlanta on top for the first time tonight.
Yeah, he gets this ball and he goes straight forward and throws this ball. Don't know where the cutoff man was, and that's why Maldonado came flying up to try to cut the runner down at second base.
Now they're going to intentionally pass Jock Peterson and pitch to d'Arnaud. Austin Riley just keeps getting big hit after big hit for Atlanta. The lead has been cut in half, and now the bases are loaded. 2 outs for d'Arnaud, who moved up in the lineup tonight. And what a spot for him and the Atlanta Braves. There have been no lead changes in this World Series yet in a ball game, as the first one misses down and away.
Well, the hard part here for d'Arnaud, wanting to do something right with the bases loaded. Saw the first power breaking ball away. Can he stay off the high fastball if that's where Maton tries to go with a lot of his fastballs?
We asked manager Brian Snitker why d'Arnaud moved up. Was it because of the home run last night? He said, yeah, he's just starting to get settled in. Missed a lot of time with that torn ligament in his left thumb. He likes the way he's swinging the bat. And here he is. A 1-0 from Maton. Big swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Those 10 runners on by the Astros through 6 innings. Hanging over them right now. Strike 2.
d'Arnaud's swing just way too big right there for a breaking ball over the middle of the plate. And the 2 strikes, we'll see if he shortens up just a little bit. This is a huge swing, high leg kick, and then just a mammoth swing. You see his head pull out. The bench knew like that might have been the pitch.
1-2 pitch. There's only been 1 grand slam during a World Series game by a catcher. The great Yogi Berra back in 1956, Game 2 of Don Newcomb. One and 2 the count on d'Arnaud. Got him looking with a fastball right down the middle. The Braves get on the board. Now they leave the bases loaded and have stranded 5 on the night. Long half inning. Atlanta gets 1. Astros up 1. Back after this from your local Fox station. But we also know we'll see him again, and that sustains us. There isn't anybody who's ever met Ernie, or anybody in that family for that matter, that doesn't walk away better off for it, and considering Ernie a friend, and we just send our best.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a chance to work with Ernie when I got into this business, and Michael, his son, knew everybody by the car they drove. Every time you met him, he'd say John Smoltz, silver Lexus, black interior, and he knew every person by the car he drove, and special person.
Yep, thinking of you. Johnson family as Matzik takes over here in the 7th inning. Yordan Alvarez at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2. Matzik has just been absolutely lights out tremendous for the Atlanta Braves over the past 2 years. And in the postseason, he's been virtually untouchable.
Yeah, he's gone to another level. His fastball has taken hitters by storm. I haven't seen hardly anybody square him up, and he's been a big reason again why the Braves been so good in the postseason.
Swanson stays down on it, gets the out. National League Championship Series Game 6, which was the deciding game, came in 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Up by 2, struck out Pujols, Souza, and Betts, and was fired up. And then World Series Game 3 last night. He did his thing, getting the 3 outs and getting this game, that game, into the 9th. At the time, leading by 1. The home run by Narno and a 2-0 win to go up 2-1 for Atlanta. Correa now 1 for 3 on the night. He and his double play partner have the 2 RBIs. Altuve a home run in the 4th, and that's the difference in the game right now.
Well, both teams knew when they came into this series. Well, Houston for sure knew they didn't have their best starter. Atlanta didn't know they were going to lose theirs in game 1, but they were going to rely heavily on the bullpen. And you could honestly say it was going to be a matchup of the bullpens, because nobody, with the exception of maybe Max Fried for the Braves, seemed to have will be able to pitch deep into the game.
1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on here in the 7th. Correa grounds to 3rd. Riley. 2 out. Christian Javier is getting ready for the Astros in their bullpen. Been more in the category of a starter / middle reliever, but as you said early on, Dusty Baker's going to go to his big arms, and tonight that includes number 53.
And all of it will be worth it if they get the victory. It'll certainly hurt if they don't, because then tomorrow, you know, they'll have to scratch and crawl to get that victory. You know, they're looking at not only getting a victory today, but tomorrow to go home up 3-2. But at the very least, they've got to be able to get a victory to go home down 3-2.
2 out, nobody on for Tucker. Line drive into left over the outstretched glove of Riley, and a 2-out single for Kyle Tucker. He's 2 for 4. That'll bring in Gurriel.
He has the swing for every kind of pitch that he sees. Very simple, almost feels like a one-piece swing where there's not many flaws to it. See how he gets the bat in the barrel through the zone.
Gurriel happy to get a chance to swing the bat. Intentionally walked his last 2 times up. Grounded out back to Kyle Wright in the 2nd. So 0 for 1. Takes a ball. Manager Brian Snitker not worried one bit if he has to use his big 3, big 4 relievers 3 straight games. Said Matzek's good to go tonight, and he will be good to go tomorrow as he pours in a 97-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, the question will be if the Braves bat in the bottom of the 7th and they tie it up, or the score's the same, will he go out for the 8th, or will it just be a 1-inning appearance?
Likely 1 inning, as a fly ball goes into right and will send us into the 7th inning stretch. Matzek hangs up another 0. What a postseason he's had. 2-1 Houston after 6.5. Bottom 3 in the lineup for Atlanta. Adam Duvall first up, 1-run game again. And Christian Javier is into the action. Made 9 starts during the regular season. Appeared 25 times out of the bullpen. And he is unscored upon here in this postseason. He's looked really good when he's had a chance to pitch.
I'd say he's doing pretty good. I thought there for a second the way this game could go differently, we would see him at an earlier stage, but nonetheless he's in here in the 7th.
Duvall 1 for 2. Takes a strike. Duvall, then Swanson, then likely a pinch hitter. Action with Luke Jackson, the right-hander, getting loose for Atlanta in their bullpen. After Matzik threw a scoreless 7th. That's down. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Great live action to his arm. Fastball slider combination. For right-handers, they have a hard time differentiating between the two.
One pitch. Duvall, strike 2. The Astros have the American League batting champ batting in their 7th spot in their lineup. Braves have a guy who's hit 40 home runs batting 7th in their lineup.
But it comes down to, again, that power arms for the right-handers in the Braves lineup and the right-handers relievers that come out of Houston's pen.
1-2 now.
That's down.
Is down at 96. 2-2. Christian Javier got him. 1 away in the 7th inning.
Well, here's what you're looking at if you're a hitter right here, right? You see the fastball on the release point comes right over the top, comes and gets you, but so does this slider. It's at the same release point, and then watch this. Okay, got it. No, you don't. If you're thinking fastball, the slider comes, and of course, if you're thinking slider, the fastball's by you. That ball comes in there looking like a fastball, and then the break and the change of speed fools the ball.
Swanson, strike 1. Likely a 1 and done for Javier. His spot due up first in the top of the 8th. Kendall Graveman and then their closer Presley ready to go if the situation presents itself. And now 2 quick strikes on Swanson. There's Presley. We're only in the 7th.
Yeah, it's going to be the highest leverage situation for the lineup that's going to come up for the Astros and Dusty Baker.
Fly ball into right, foul ball, and that may very well be because of that guy in the leadoff spot, Rosario.
Yeah, but much like when I got a chance to do our first World Series together, you know, the Cubs were down 3-1, but their pitching was lined up better than the Indians for them to come back. And I think Dusty's approaching it the same way, going, okay, the Braves don't know who they're going to pitch game 5. I know if I can win this game, I'm set up better to win this series if I can win tonight. And that's why I think you're seeing it.
Here's one into right. Back at the wall. The game is tied. Home run. Swanson. 2-2 in the 7th.
Again, they're going to look back on a couple pitch selections against the Braves. They haven't had many opportunities. He looked horrible on the breaking balls. We talked about right field and how the ball jumps. They decided to go to a fastball. Swanson, with his power, goes to right field and barely clears the wall. He doesn't care if it's by 1 inch or 40 feet.
Dansby Swanson picks right now to go deep for the first time this postseason. And it's 2-2 in the 7th.
He went with the fastball, and that was center cut. Even though he was late, he got enough of the barrel on it. He's played here all year. He knows the ball goes to right field. And right about there, a special feeling. But the pitches previously, he swung big and loose against the breaking ball. But that was a fastball.
Over that yellow line. Back onto the field of play. A home run to tie the game. Jorge Soler bats. Ball one inside.
Strange way for this game to be tied 2-2, where the Astros have had action just about every basis, on base just about every inning. Braves haven't had many opportunities, but they've cashed in the last two to tie the game.
Good pitch to Soler. Big swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch. Down, ball 2. Jackson's ready to go. He'll take over in the 8th. 2-1 pitch. Driven in the air to left. Back at the wall. It is gone. Back to back. Braves take the lead. 3-2.
Alvarez went into that fence almost full speed, and he crushed that fence trying to get that home run. Of course, not being out there and knowing these dimensions, but he gave every effort he had to catch that ball. I mean, he is flying into this right here and catches the knee on the padding. Just missed the baseball.
Yordan Alvarez able to continue. 3 runs on the board for the Atlanta Braves. And 2 of the 3 runs that have scored by 2 of the pickups in July by Alex Anthopoulos in their front office. Soler with a home run, and Rosario, who's been all world, going 2 for 3 tonight with a double and a run scored last inning. Back to back.
Yeah, that breaking ball started inner half and ended in the middle, and he kind of knew he got it, but I don't think he knew it was this close. A lot of topspin. That ball was coming down, and again, Alvarez almost catches that ball. Swanson pretty excited.
Remember, Alvarez had surgery on both knees, played only 2 games last year, but now a double switch. Javier is lifted as Baker uses the double switch and will go to his bullpen, now trailing by a run here in game 4. They call it the battery here outside Truist Park. Just going crazy out there with back-to-back home runs. And the first Atlanta lead of the night is Ryan Presley. The closer typically takes over in the 7th with Eddie Rosario. This is the matchup that Dusty Baker was eyeing, but I'm sure not thinking that he was going to be trailing by a run as it pops up here in the 7th.
Yeah, even if he gave up 2 hits. But the problem is those 2 hits were homers, so those are 2 points on the board, now trailing.
Good breaking ball from Presley to Eddie Rosario.
One of the best knuckle curveballs in the game. So tight. And he matches it with cutting action on his fastball.
117th World Series and the first time in the long Braves history. They've gone back-to-back during a World Series game. 1-1 pitch here, fouled back.
Well, here's where Rosario likes it, I guess. You give him 2 strikes. See his postseason numbers, they haven't dwindled at all.
One-third of an inning for Christian Javier. 2 runs on the 2 hits that left the park. 1 strikeout. This game just got turned upside down. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Rosario strikes out. 2 out. 2 for 4 nights so far. Jorge Soler just became the 2nd player in Braves history with a go-ahead home run in the 7th inning or later in a World Series game. Eddie Matthews with the other for the Milwaukee Braves. In 1957 World Series Game 4 against the Yankees, Braves won that one in 7. Freddie Freeman takes a strike. Freeman drew a walk his last time up, led eventually to the base hit for an RBI by Austin Riley. Tied up there, good pitch, strike 2.
Mentioned how important it was for the left-handers in the lineup. Well, it's been the right-handers who came through. Riley hit a hanging breaking ball to get the first run in, and then 2 home runs from right-handers. 1 a pinch hit and 1 Swanson.
Ball 1 upstairs from Presley. Still just a 1-run game. Matzik, the pitcher of record now for Atlanta after going 1 inning, allowing 1 hit. Freeman strikes out. This place is alive and well. Oh. Swanson goes deep into right with Soler watching. And then with Swanson watching, Soler goes deep into left. And the Braves lead it 3-2 after 7 in Game 4. So Swanson went deep and then Soler. The double switch, and we never got a chance to tell you the last half inning because of all the activity, was Aledmus Diaz coming in to play first base. And the pitcher, Presley, at the moment batting in the number 7 spot. So Diaz is first at bat, leading it off here in the 8th. Strike 1 from the new pitcher, Luke Jackson, and now ball 1.
Luke Jackson, just like a lot of the pitchers for Houston, very firm fastball, but it's his slider that he gets a lot of the action pitches and swings and misses.
Diaz jammed, strike 2. Jackson brings it. Diaz stays up there. Diaz, then Maldonado, then Altuve. With Minter getting loose. One, two. 2-2.
Again, another similarity when we draw the way this series have been playing out. Houston was down a run in Boston. Game 4, 8th inning. Hit a homer, scored 7 in the 9th. I don't know if they could go to that formula tonight, but they need a run to at least get to that point.
2-2 pitch now to Diaz, and he didn't go.
It was a good call.
Now a 3-2 count. Jackson brings it. That's foul. You've got Maldonado on deck. He's walking back to the dugout.
A scouting report maybe, or a little word.
You think about the absence of Jason Castro, who went on the COVID list before the game. Might have been a spot for him. 3-2 pitch. Another foul. Jackson a perfect inning last night. Pitched an inning and 2/3, allowed just 1 hit, struck out 3 in the 6-2 Atlanta win in Game 1 on Tuesday. Three-two pitch.
You can tell what pitch he likes to go to. He's gone to consecutive 3 in a row, I believe. 3-2 sliders. The only problem with that is you got to throw. Your thought process is you want it to be a strike with great break, so you never can aim that pitch on 3-2 to get it over. You've got to throw it with conviction.
Diaz hits it in the air to left. Rosario has out number 1. And Maldonado will be the hitter. One for 3 tonight and 2 for 11 in this World Series. Just 4 for 41 in the postseason. That's why these have been spots where Castro has had opportunities late in games. That's ball 1.
But he has definitely had some better swings. So in that Boston series, there weren't a lot of loud outs or a lot of great swings.
1 ball, 1 strike here. Astros dominated the 7th inning and on. 7th, 8th, 9th. In the first 2 series they played, outscoring the Red Sox and the White Sox 27-7. But the Braves lead the 7th inning or later so far in this World Series, 4 runs to 2. 2-0 tonight. With the back-to-back home runs last half inning. 1 and 2 on Maldonado. Fifth pitcher of the night for Atlanta brings it. Rides up and in, full count. Time called at the plate. The Astros led 1-0 after 1, 2-0 after 4. It was 2-1 after 6 innings. Astros leading, and then a 7th inning power surge by the Braves. Back-to-back home runs. 3-2 pitch. 2 out. And here are those back-to-back home runs. Our Hyundai lift of the game. Dansby Swanson with his 8th home run to the opposite field in 2021, and then Soler pulled the go-ahead home run over the wall and left.
And here comes that man,
Jose Altuve. 2 for 4 tonight. And it was Altuve who tied that game 4 at Fenway with an 8th inning home run leading off. Now he's batting with 2 down. And he hits one in the air to left. Back at the wall and caught by Rosario. And the inning is over. What a catch by Eddie Rosario to end the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th. Braves batting, leading at 3-2. Altuve gave that ball a ride, and Eddie Rosario on the track, and the dead run flagged it down. And a 1-2-3 top of the 8th. Now the bottom half. Presley back to work. Part of the order for the Braves, and Albies takes a ball. Albies, Riley, then Jock Peterson. Braves leading by 1 run.
With Albies' speed, I know he doesn't do it because he's got a lot of power, but boy, if he drags a bunt with him, they can never get him out with as deep as they play.
2-0 the count. Here's a 2-0 to Albies. That is skied foul left side. 2-1. The ball that Altuve hit a moment ago to end the top of this 8th, that Rosario caught on the track, I'm told would have been a home run in 26 parks in the big leagues, including Minute Maid.
Oh yeah.
Here's a 2-1. 2-2. Albies 0 for 3. Will Smith, the closer for the Braves, getting loose. It'll be the big bats for Houston in the 9th. Brantley, Bregman, and Alvarez. If anybody gets on, Correa. Astros hoping Presley keeps this a 1-run game. Ball 3. Three-2 now, and a leadoff walk. Let's go back to that catch by Rosario.
This is unbelievable because he was going back, and at the last second, right here, throws his glove, catches the ball before he hits the wall. I mean, you had to see it in live when he was going after it. Almost looked like he was last-minute ditch effort, and the ball found his glove. Darno, Jackson. Pretty happy, but not Altuve.
He's right, missed it by that much. Check on Albies. With Riley up, then Peterson, then Darno. Albies 3 for 3 in stolen bases during the postseason. 20 during the regular season, caught just 4 times this year. Fouled back by Riley. Oh, 1 pitch up and in.
Just the thought of speed changes the dynamics of a pitcher like Presley. Ideally, he'd like to take his time and deliver his pitch, but he has to pay attention to the speed of Albies.
Ball 2.
Anyone who tells you that doesn't matter or doesn't affect the pitcher has never really played or been in this role, because I know stolen bases are down, but it does affect, and the carryover effect is the benefactor is the guy at the plate. He gets to see better pitches than he normally would.
2-1 here. 2-2, good pitch. There is action again for the Astros in their bullpen as Smith continues to get ready for Atlanta. That's Yimi Garcia.
Yeah, because what you don't want to have here is a huge inning of pitches and lose Presley or have him less effective for tomorrow's game, no matter what the outcome of this game ends up.
2-2. Struck him out. Fastball at 94, 1 away. Predict which players will collect the most total bases during any World Series game and compete to win $20,000. Play MLB Base Chase, presented by Michelob Ultra, at MLB.com/stolenbase. See official rules for details.
That's why I said in the 4th inning, you know, if it all works out for the Astros, all those moves were worth it. But at the price, if it doesn't, then you start really putting yourself up against it, asking your relievers to go multiple.
Well, Javier got the nod in the 7th as Dusty Baker stays away from Kendall Graveman tonight, as Presley here steps off. Stanek pitched way back in the 5th. One on, one out, and a strike is in at 95 to Jock Peterson. Albies at first. Starts and stops as Peterson fouls it away, strike 2. Albies has that look where he's trying to pick his spot. Draws a throw.
natural reactions for first base coaches to yell back. But if you got to hear the word back, you're not getting back. Too late. It's a reaction of studying the pitcher and what he does when he comes to the belt, and where his feet are on the rubber.
Stays 0-2 on Peterson. Eric Young, the first base coach, kind of lines himself up almost behind the umpire. Mike Malinsky at first, trying to get that direct line at the pitcher, in this case Presley. Albies has only bluffed one time. Stays 0-2 on Peterson. Foul. 10 of the 18 home runs hit by the Braves this postseason by those 4 July acquisitions, as they retooled their outfield. And Soler has 2 of them. One tonight, pinch hit go-ahead home run after Swanson had tied it with a home run to right the at bat before. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt.
Albies had some great takes on that pitch. Anything that's inside, I think the left-hander's starting to see the height of that pitch and being able to lay off of it, because the back foot breaking ball to a left-hander, tough to hit.
One-two pitch is off the foot of Peterson. That hits him and puts him on first.
That truly was a back foot breaking ball. Unfortunately, it hit him in the back foot for Presley. Surprised he never climbed the ladder with the fastball. Kept going to that pitch. Jock Peterson saw a bunch of it.
Just glanced off the top of his left foot. And Peterson is lifted for a pinch runner. They get Heredia into the ball game. Guillermo does the running at first. Batter now Darno. Runners on at first and second, 1 out. This is turning into a big effort by Presley. Pitch number 27 from the right-hander who took over last inning. Ball 1. Graveman worked 1 inning last night. Gave up the home run to the guy at the plate, Travis d'Arnaud. When we talked to Dusty Baker tonight around 5 o'clock, he said that he wanted to wait and make sure that Christian Javier was good to go tonight. The answer was obviously yes, and in 1/3 of an inning gave up the back-to-back home runs and the 1-run lead. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on d'Arnaud. One pitch is down. The next from Presley is popped up right side, foul ball, out of play. 2-2. 7th inning back-to-back tonight. Swanson, the 3rd player in Braves history with a game-tying home run in the 7th or later of a World Series. Hank Aaron and Lonnie Smith. And Soler, first player in World Series history with a leadoff home run and a pinch hit home run in the same series. Just hit that go-ahead pinch hit home run last inning. Led off game 1 with a leadoff home run in Houston. A strikeout of d'Arnaud. 2 out.
Yeah, there's a big strikeout, and I would think this is going to be the last hitter he faces, regardless of what happens with all those pitch count numbers getting up. But you know, we talked about both teams having a special year and coming in here. So far the Braves have just had magic, right? They just find ways. They've won a lot of close games on this stretch at home. Nail biter last night, and Brian Snitker has been there, done that. It never looks like anything's facing him, but can't imagine what it's like to manage these kind of close games. I guess it's better when you win them.
Well, we have seen one big exhale by Brian Snitker tonight, but he's pulled the right strings as Duvall waits. 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1. Snitker started the left-hander Dylan Lee. He didn't have it. Went 1/3 of an inning. Left with the bases loaded in the first, and Kyle Wright took over. A phenomenal job by Wright. He allowed 1 inherited runner to score 1 run later on the home run by Altuve in the 4th, and that's it.
Yeah, and we talked about that first inning. You wondered if that was going to come back to bite the Astros. When you're going up against a young pitcher who's obviously have never been there, and you load up the bases and only muster up 1 run. They did add another run later, but they had so many opportunities. Of course, still a 1-run game, but you just know that those games, as they're going on, I've been there in the dugout going, man, we missed these opportunities. Is that going to come back to haunt me?
Astros have stranded 11 runners tonight. Braves have left 5 and hit into 2 double plays. Okay, here's the 1-0 from Presley to Duvall. Pop up on the infield, foul ground for Bregman. And this game 4 goes into the 9th inning. Good work by Presley. It'll be Brantley, Bregman, Yordan Alvarez. Well, here is Will Smith. He got the save last night. 5 for 5 this postseason. They don't get any bigger than this. 1-run lead, 9th inning. No earned runs against him this postseason in 9 games. Here's Brantley, and that bounces in for ball 1.
Well, he was warming up in a 1-0 game when the bonus run was hit last night to give him a little breathing room in last night's 2-0 victory, but no breathing room here.
So Duvall moves from center to right, and Guillermo Heredia is in the game in center. Brantley leading off. Goes around, strike 1. Brantley 1 for 3 tonight with a walk and a single. Bregman will follow, then Yordan Alvarez. Carlos Correa due up 4th. 1-1. Strike 2.
You know, pitch has got to be pretty good when he throws it majority of the time. And the spin on his breaking ball is late. And every once in a while he'll surprise you with the fastball, but he throws that breaking ball a lot.
Brantley trying to get on to start the ninth. A ball and 2 strikes. 2-2. Still 2-2.
It takes a special mindset to get the last 3 outs every single time you're in the game. Getting 3 outs in the 6th can be difficult, but it's not the same as getting 3 outs in the 9th. Everybody knows what's at stake.
2-2 pitch. Another foul. The first 2 runs given up this postseason in 5 games by the young, hard-throwing right-hander Christian Javier. The home run by Swanson to tie it. The home run by Soler to get the lead. The difference in the game. Matzik and Javier are the pitchers of record. Here's another 2-2 to Brantley. Full count. And Brantley just turns in a good at bat every time he's up there.
Only had the one really going after a ball swing, tried to check up, got the swing.
And he makes the pitcher work for the out. He tries to work to get on. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Brantley strikes out.
Well, right there, he was sitting all over spin, and I don't blame him. The scouting report shows that he's not going to throw this pitch very often, but when he does, it does seem electric to the hitter because they're seeing spin after spin after spin. And what a time to lock up one of the best hitters in the game.
1 down. Here's Bregman. 1 for 13 in this series. Pops it up. Albies. 2 out. And the big left fielder, Yordan Alvarez, is the last chance for Houston here in the 9th. Almost caught the ball, hit by Soler and left in the 7th, banged into the wall. Able to continue, and here he is, 2 out, nobody on in the 9th, down by a run. Good pitch, strike 1.
He's got the big breaking ball, then the tighter slider. It gives you different looks.
Strike 2.
See if he goes to the tighter version.
2-2.
Started him off with 2 curveballs, went to the slider, fastball in just to get him off this next breaking ball. I would think that would be the plan for Darno and Will Smith.
Good rip by Alvarez. It stays 2-2. Slow roller, Freeman to the bag. Braves win another. Atlanta now 7-0 at home this postseason. And the back-to-back home runs in the 7th inning seal this one for the Braves. Up 3 games to 1. And on a Halloween night, tomorrow night, we'll have a chance to win their 2nd World Championship since moving to Atlanta.